All right. Hello, everybody. I'm trying to say what happy day it is because, I always do that. And I didn't really know. So, yeah, it's Tuesday. That I just figured out. And it is the end of June. So that means if you haven't got your tickets yet for Witch City Tarot Gathering, I advise you do that now. We have a low ticket warning for across the board for the VIP, for the Witches Night, for all of it. So definitely want to get on that. And today we are speaking with Monica Bodirsky. And I don't know why I couldn't get that out. And I see her popping on here now. So I'm here. Yay. I'm so excited. We're almost through doing all of our presenter interviews. Hi, Monica.
Hi.
How are
Hi.
you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. It seems like this morning went so fast. Like all of a sudden, I was like, oh, okay, I gotta do things.
I noticed that. I was working away and I went, oh, time to chat.
Yes, I'm telling you, we must have been on the same pathway because I did the exact same thing. Yeah. So I'm so excited that you are going to be presenting in person this year. It's going to be so awesome. I'm so happy. I can't wait. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and then tell us a little bit about what you'll be talking about.
Well, sure. Thank you for having me here. And I am really excited to be joining you live because, well, we know COVID was a bit of an issue for a while.
Yeah,
there.
It was a little something,
little pandemic thingy. So I'm so happy to be taking part. My name is Monica Bodirsky, and I am an artist and author primarily of tarot and oracle decks. I've also done a Lenormand deck. I've had such a checkered past. With so many different things. I also identify as a witch and a walker between the worlds, and I held the Witch Fest North Culture and Arts Festival here in Takaronto, which is the Indigenous name for Toronto, for 5 years, 2 of which were online. So I've done lots of different things with divination and art and writing. I write creative nonfiction, the guides that go along with the decks. And that's just a little bit about me, and I'm really happy to be here.
No, that's so awesome. I know you. I do have all your decks, and I love in your book, with the spider, when you flip it, the spider it's really the little things like that just make me so happy. It really doesn't take much. It takes a little spider on a page and I'm happy.
And I have to give credit where credit is due. I work with an incredibly talented designer at Red Feather Mind, Body and Spirit named Brenda McCallum. And she did an incredible job with that spider and flipping the pages.
She did.
I was pretty thrilled when I saw that. I went, hey, my spider is on the page.
I love it. It's so good. So I know you will be presenting. And so can you give us a little hint or a little kind of synopsis what you're talking about?
Oh, for sure. I'm taking this opportunity as a theme of alchemy to explore the alchemy of combining Oracle, Lenormand, and Tarot decks together to bring you some really new, interesting insights and perspectives if you haven't tried that. There is an actual technique and a way of doing that. So you can use several decks simultaneously of your choosing and approach it in a way that will be conducive to clarifying rather than confusing. It's not that there's really an incorrect way. I just think there's a best practices way of looking at the symbolism from each of the decks to help you. So we're going to talk about the effective ways to ask questions, how to shuffle, and that new great trend of jumper cards. Oh, there goes one.
Yeah.
And great spreads for mixing the systems. And because there are spreads that I have that will help you with that, keep it really clean and simple. Yeah. And just how to avoid pitfalls of, flipping cards. Some of us do that anyway. We keep flipping for clarity. And then with mixing decks, it's like, You
Right.
might just
3 hours later and 70,000 cards. You're like, I don't know.
and it was a simple yes or no question.
Exactly. Like, wait a minute. What am I doing now?
Yeah,
now I have so many more like questions, right? Like, what do I do? I love
exactly.
that though. I love that it's, basically, so you're just going to help kind of create that framework
Yeah.
so that when somebody is like, ooh, I'm going to dive into, using a couple different systems, that they can do it in a very easy way that, like you said, you won't, be confused, and a simple question won't turn into all sorts of stuff.
Exactly. And I think with a few handy tips, I'll be bringing those and handing those out or making them available online,
Mm-hmm.
that people understand that there are ways of reading symbolism so that you're not necessarily switching between three guidebooks either.
Right.
It's so there are systems, but we also need to use our intuition for very archetypal symbols, that it's a lot easier than it sounds, so that you can look at it and create sentences and be comfortable with that, so it isn't difficult or intimidating at all.
No, I love that. And I think too that, we do have a lot of new people at the event, which is always so awesome because they are just there to just absorb all the knowledge. So I think that this is a really important topic because, especially because you see it online a lot, like you see all the different, some of them get a little bit complicated and you're just like, well, I don't even, no, I'm not touching that. But I love that you're going to kind of bring that in and be like, listen, you can do this. And then the whole part with the intuition, which is so important because that will also help kind of direct where your reading's going, and just trusting that, right? It's so important.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm a big proponent of understanding systems. I've studied them for years. I'm really into researching divination and having
Mm-hmm.
total respect for that. And intuitive reading doesn't mean you're throwing that all aside. It is, as you're saying, it's about trusting yourself and trusting that you already are seeing what is in that imagery. And people would be surprised if they did that a little more frequently and then check the guidebook, how correct
Mm-hmm.
they are.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I am definitely somebody who, when I teach, I really do stress, like, it is important to know the base knowledge. It's important to, and because all it does too, and then you add your intuition on top of it, it just
Yeah.
deepens that reading, and it gives you more to pull from, because it isn't just, a guy standing over by the tree. Maybe there's a reason that, maybe that means something. Maybe that means you need to get your butt outside and do some grounding. But unless you start really diving into this stuff, you won't know, right? So I love that. And so you're going to also be vending, right?
I
Yes.
am. I'm going to have my decks there because they are easier for me, even though I'm inviting people to bring whatever decks they would like to use. In the workshop, I will be vending my Between the Worlds shadow casting with Bone and Curio Oracle cards, the Shadowland Tarot, and the Shadowland Lenormand, along with, as long as we're talking about spiders,
Yes.
these little spider bags.
Oh, those are adorable. Oh my gosh. Okay. I need one of those for sure. I love that. I love it. Yeah. I'm excited to, again, meet you, hang out with you, see all the good stuff that you're bringing. And I already have all your decks. So yeah, there's that, but I don't have one of those little bags. So that's a must.
Okay.
For sure.
Cool. And I
So
am also bringing an indie deck, which I wanted to mention.
Yes.
I'm bringing one indie deck. I'm sneaking that into.
Yes,
So,
yeah, sneak it in. Yeah, no, I'm excited about that. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, for sure. It's the Bat's Blood ink deck, and it has some interesting ink. It's black and white, and the images are there to invoke or provoke certain thoughts, and the images will really get you looking at yourself. And there are there are numbers on there, but no names. There is a guide that you can download, the free PDF, but it's really for creative, intuitive play without any serious structure to it. So it seems to appeal to creative people a little bit more.
Oh, I love that. And I think that's a cool thing to use too. Like, if you are, maybe if you're writing or creating something and you kind of get stuck, I feel like that would be a really great tool to kind of help unstuck you.
It
Right?
is. I use it that way all the time. They're good prompts. Absolutely.
I love that. I love that. All right. Well, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody where to find you online?
For sure, as long as you can spell my name correctly, which may be a challenge, but MonicaBodirsky.com.
Mhm.
And same with Instagram, it is Monica Bodirsky. And I'm easy to get hold of if you want to email me. The contact is on my website. There are a lot of helpful tips on my website. I have my shop there, and very responsive to any questions you might have.
Oh, I love that. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me a little bit today, and I will see you in a couple of weeks.
Thanks so much, Jen. I can't
All right.
wait to see you in person.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.